Yo, what's going on, crew? Welcome back for another One Piece review. The Voyage continues with episode 1120. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to join the council and become a part of the crew. This week, we're going to start the discussion off with a deep dive on the Mother Flame. And then after that, we're going to round out the episode with the recent news for season 2 of the live action One Piece, everybody. So with all that being said, the council is now in session. Let the meeting begin. All right, everybody. So in this episode, we actually got to get some more insight as to what Imu-sama used to destroy the island of Lulusia, everybody. So we come to know that the name of the weapon used to destroy the island is called the Mother Flame, and that it was invented by Vegapunk. Now, the fact that it was invented by Vegapunk is a key detail and a very important detail that we'll come back to later on. But we can also come to a conclusion that the Mother Flame is some sort of flying weapon because of this quote, that we got from Saba this episode, right? And I read this. Something really dark was flying over the clouds as it appeared over the island of Lucia before it was destroyed, right? So it wasn't just like a long-ranged attack that was used to destroy the island. It was actually a weapon, a machine, and that right there actually makes me feel better because one, it means Imu isn't as cracked and OP as I thought he was, right? Because before this episode, I just thought that Imu used some type of long range attack and he was able to demolish Lulusia like that, and he was just some OP type of character, right? And he probably still is in his own right, but he isn't as cracked as I thought, right? He's using a weapon to destroy Lulusia, and it wasn't just himself, right? Even though the weapon is probably could be connected to him in some type of way, right? This energy blast didn't directly come from Imu, right? So that makes me feel a little bit better now. So you're probably wondering, other than the Mother Flame being a weapon of mass destruction, what's so important about it, right? So our boy Ivankov from the Revolutionary Army, he believes that the weapon used to destroy the island of Lulusia is actually an ancient weapon. And why does he believe that? Well, thankfully, I actually got my answer to why Imu-sama has been around for so long, and because our boy Ivankov just casually dropped another lower bomb on us like it was nothing, right? So, and I'll quote, among the first 20 who created this world 800 years ago, there was a king named Saint Imu from the Nerona dynasty. We know there is an ability to make someone immortal in this world, but that means that someone has actually used it, right? Is proof that there is a person out there that doesn't know death, everybody. First of all, when did we know there was an ability out there that can make somebody immortal? I must have missed this or something. I must have missed the memo, Ivankov, because this is news to me. All right, you just casually saying this like, yeah, but you already know, there's somebody to make the ability out there to make somebody immortal. Like this is just information you should already know something. Like, how you just casually drop that, right? But but that's crazy though. So the fact that if this is true, right, that means Imu is the original person from 800 years ago, right? And he was that person who was part of the original 20 who made the what is the words I'm looking for? Who made the quote, not the quote, who made they made the pact, there we go, and the oath to not essentially to let nobody sit on the world throne, become the king or whatever, the king of the world, right? Imu-sama broke that oath, right? And this is bringing back to my point. Well, now that we know that he's immortal, so maybe he actually set this plan up all along from 800 years ago, right? And then also on top of that, all the other original 20 now is confirmed probably that they're all gone, right? That means there's nobody left to oppose this man's reign, which is crazy. And then now these guys have been thinking about it, this man probably just been swapping out 5 elders or whatever throughout the years, as the years been going on, doing God knows what, just chilling back and relaxing and just enjoying it. We don't know how long Imu-sama been trying to attempt to say they were the king of the world and things of that nature. We don't know if this is the recent times we've been getting introduced to them. Is this the first time that they actually sat on the throne, right? Or have they sat on it before? We don't know. Once again, this just goes a little bit back to, gives us a little bit insight to the characteristics of Imu-sama and the things of that nature. The Nerona dynasty, we haven't heard of that before. This is the first time that has been name dropped, if I'm not mistaken, so we don't really have much to go on that one, unfortunately. But if there's ever a island out there that has anything to deal with the Nerona dynasty, we now know that it's directly related to Imu, so that's cool. But yeah, like I said, as of right now, I don't recall anybody ever mentioned the Nerona dynasty before this episode, right? So that's definitely got to be something completely new. But to continue on with the Mother Flame discussion though, everybody, right? This leads me back to the very important part where I was saying the fact that Vegapunk invented the Mother Flame was very important, right? And that's because if we're going by the logic that the Mother Flame is an ancient weapon, right, and that Vegapunk invented it, this means that the one that Imusama used to destroy Lulusia is not the original, but a copy or a recreation of the original. And I guess that would make sense, because if this is the same Imusama from 800 years ago, you know, he was a part of that war and everything, right, then they would know, you know, what the ancient weapons was like, you know, what they're useful and, you know, what they were used for and how they worked and things of that nature. So it wouldn't be hard to kind of tell Vegapunk, like, hey, you know, there was a weapon that did this, you know, do you think you can recreate it, right? Or who knows, maybe he even has some leftover plans or something like that. But yeah, it's probably not the original Mother Flame, right? It's more than likely a recreation of the original, or like a copy of it, right? But the next thing, and probably the next most important thing about what I want to talk about, is the name of the Mother Flame, right? If we're also going by the logic that this is an ancient weapon, then now that potentially means that there are more than 3 ancient weapons, right? Because, you know, the 3 that we know about are Poseidon, Pluton, and Uranus, and the last one that we don't know much about is Uranus. So it could be potentially that maybe the Mother Flame is the true name of Uranus, if you will, right? Or another name for Uranus, something like that, or, you know, just another name for the ancient weapon. So maybe it has 2 names, you know, Uranus and the Mother Flame, right? So that could be a possibility. Or the Mother Flame could just be a completely separate, you know, ancient weapon altogether, right? Who's to say? You know, the first time we heard about that there was 3 ancient weapons was when what was that, back in Fishman Island, right? When Nico Barman was talking to King Neptune, right? That's when we first heard the mention of all 3 ancient weapons. You know, that the fact that it was like 3 ancient weapons, right? But, you know, who the hell is King Neptune, right? Who the hell made him the king of the lore of all the ancient weapons, right? So who's to say that there's not more than 3 ancient weapons, and the Mother Flame is just another one of them, right? Or like I said, it also could be the case that the Mother Flame is just another name for the ancient weapon Uranus, which could be the case. But either way, I think I'm cool with either possibility. I think just the fact that it's a potential that there could be more than 3 ancient weapons is just cool in its own sense, right? That's just dope. But yeah, so really strong potential that the Mother Flame is the 3rd ancient weapon Uranus that, you know, we've been wondering where the hell it's been all along. And there's also potential that maybe it's a completely separate ancient weapon, maybe the 4th ancient weapon, if you will, right? Something completely new. That'll be crazy. But, you know, like I said, just the fact that we have these 2 possibilities is crazy of its own. So I think that's great, and, you know, wonderful story, right, Oda? Beautiful. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys think about that. But yeah, let's continue on. Another cool reveal we got this episode was the full title for each of the 5 elders, so I'm going to go over each of those right now. So first up, we got Saint J. Garcia, Saturn, Godhead of Science and Defense. Next up, we got Saint Marcus Mars, Godhead of Environment. After him, we got Saint Topman Warkirk, Godhead of Justice. Then we got Saint Ethan Byrne the 5th, Noose Juro, Godhead of Finance. And then last but not least, we got Saint Shepherd Jupiter, the Godhead of Agriculture, everybody. So once again, you know, we got the full titles for each of the 5 elders this episode. I think that's a cool fact, because I don't think that we ever got their full names before. You know, this also just, you know, gives us a little bit more information about each of the 5 elders. So like, for example, right, I guess, you know, the reason why they sent Saint J. Garcia to Egghead and deal with the Egghead matter first, right, was because he's the Godhead of Science and Defense. So, you know, it makes sense to, I guess, you know, send him to deal with the matter. I guess this will be more of a him matter until, you know, it gets escalated above him, right? So, you know, once again, you know, just little cool little details and more information that we can keen in on about each of the 5 elders now. So that's kind of cool. But after that, I got one of my other wants for the Egghead arc here. We actually got the reveal of one of the Holy Knights, and not just any Holy Knight, the Holy Knight, everybody, the commander of the Holy Knights, and his name is Saint Figarland Garling, and he was a man who was once active as a champion on the island of God Valley, and he executed Don Quistitox Miosgard, I believe that's how you pronounce that. The reason why that's important because that's one of Doflamingo's family members that may or may not have any significance on the story, going forward. We'll just have to see. But what I do want to talk about is the fact that Figarland, when it says that he was a champion, on the island Godhead, not Godhead, God damn it, on God Valley, right? If he was a part of the God Valley incident, I can only assume that Figarland is him, everybody. As we all know, God Valley was basically almost like another Marine Forward War, if you will, like another War of the Best, right? It had all the best from the previous generation all in one place fighting it out. That's where Garp made a name for himself. Roger was at as well at the same time because Roger and Garp teamed up together to actually take down Rocks, right? Because that's when the Rocks Pirates actually got disbanded and defeated, was on God Valley at the God Valley incident. So yeah, what, a lot of big names was on this island, right? So if he was, if Figarland was on this island, competing with some of the likes of these people, right? So we can only assume that he must be him, and he got it. All right, so he got it. Hopefully this is an indication that we might be getting some more information about like what actually happened at God Valley and why they was there, because we know that Garp originally pulled up, he had to team up with Roger to actually save the celestial dragons in God Valley, right? We don't know why they were there. We don't know if there's actually something important on God Valley or for whatnot. We don't know why the Rocks Pirates kidnapped them and took them to God Valley, or if maybe like the celestial dragons already on God Valley and the Rocks Pirates just pulled up because their HQ is the now pirate island where Blackbeard is, we're chilling there, right? So that's where their HQ is at. It's still a lot of mysteries about God Valley, right? And that's still one of the major battles in history that we don't have a lot of information on, and maybe and hopefully we actually start to learn some more about what actually happened on God Valley here. That'd be really, really cool. But to round out this 1120 discussion, I was correct, but at what cost? At what cost, everybody? The government surely does have other models of the rest of the warlords. We're through. We're done. It's crazy. It's really crazy because they say, we don't even need you warlords anymore. We're just gonna replace y'all with. I was about to say miniature versions of themselves, but some of them Seraphim are freaking huge, right? So maybe not miniature versions of themselves, but we're just gonna replace you with robot versions of yourselves, right? So we got the reveal of S Crocodile, S what is that? Gecko Moria, and then the last one was Doflamingo. There we go. The last one was Doflamingo. It's a problem. It is a problem. That's officially all 7. Do they have a copy of Law? Who knows? If they have a copy of Law, that will be a problem. Because I was about to say, it doesn't look like they actually need to be like in prison or something for them to have getting their DNA, because we know that Bo was never in prison, right? But somehow they still got a hold of Bo, and so was Mihawk. He was never in prison by them, and still somehow they got a hold of his DNA and all that, and they was able to make a copy and a version of him. So who's to say that they also don't have one for Law as well, just chilling somewhere? If they have a Law Seraphim, that would be crazy. But yeah, just the fact that they officially have 7 Seraphims now. We only seen the 4, so who knows if the other 3 are still on the island right now? Hopefully not. Maybe they're, hopefully they're off doing their own some different missions and stuff like that. They're not on the island, because this will help us out a little, bit and alleviate the stress that we got coming on the battle already. We already got another bigger battle coming on the Egghead with both Kizaru and St. J. Garcia pulling up, to the island, right? So we don't need anything else, to hold us back. So hopefully those other 3 Seraphim are off doing some other stuff. And another thing that I just thought about, the devil fruit powers for the Seraphim, right? Are they based upon like the power level of the original user? And I'm assuming not, because it looked like the Kuma bot was doing like some crazy stuff with his. But the reason why I asked that is because, so like, for example, Doflamingo's devil fruit was awakened. So does that mean the Seraphim Doflamingo, is he going to be walking around with an awakened devil fruit as well? Like, that's an issue. Like that's not That's a little devil that's walking around. Like Doflamingo was already a problem in his own, and now you're saying there's just like a minier version of him that's technically supposed to be, I guess, stronger than the original, right? And that can still use an awakened devil fruit. That's an issue. So that that's something we need to know, right? Is their devil fruit powers based upon like the original user? Once again, quote unquote, can the Doflamingo Seraphim use Doflamingo's awakened devil fruit because he's awakened his? Only time will tell. But once again, just the fact that they have now 7 in total Seraphim based upon modeled after the warlords here, that is a problem. That is a problem. That is definitely a way to balance the power after you lost the 7 warlords as a source of strength. This is definitely a way a little bit to regain your strength right there. Beautiful move, Navy. Beautiful move. What else y'all got? But all right, everybody, so that is the end of the 1120 discussion. And we're gonna move on to the next session where we're gonna talk about the recent One Piece news for the live action season 2, everybody. All right, so we don't have a lot of news for the season 2 of the live action One Piece, but the recent news that we did get, I do think it is significant. So we did get the reveal of the actor for Robin, everybody. Her name is Lara Abova, and she will be she is casted as Robin, or Miss All Sunday, if you will, because the Alabest art. But she is casted as Robin in the live action One Piece, so that's cool. We found out Robin, everybody. That's wonderful. And then they also gave us a teaser as to what Chopper is going to look like inside of the live action One Piece, everybody. So
look at this. Oh my god, this is crazy.
From the little teaser they did give us, I believe we're on good hands. It doesn't look like it's going to be horrible. They are going the CGI route here. Once again, it doesn't look too horrible, but it is just a small little teaser. So, we'll have to wait to see the full reveal here. But I think it is safe to say that we are in good hands, though. Looks like they're probably going for it looks like a maybe a little chibi or little route too, which is cool. But nonetheless, we did get a little teaser of how Chopper's going to look like in the live action One Piece as well. So that's cool to see. And then last but not least, everybody, they also gave us, a small little teaser trailer on like some of the sets and set pieces for the live action season 2. So if you guys want to go take a look at that, take a look at some of the behind the scenes of what's going on for season 2 of the live action One Piece, they got that little trailer out. Not much else to say about the live action One Piece season 2. That is all the recent news that we got from it, everybody. Let me know down below in your comments what is your thoughts on the live action One Piece in general. Do you like the fact that we even have the live action? Do you think we didn't need it at all? Give me your thoughts, your general thoughts on the live action One Piece, everybody. With all that being said, everybody, that is the end of today's discussion. That is all I have for today. Thank you all for tuning in and listening to me ramble like always, everybody. I do really appreciate it, and I will see you all next week. But do remember that next episode is a filler episode. Next week, it's a special episode. They're going to be talking about doing a little recap on the Navy. Once again, we don't review filler episodes, so I won't be here next week. But the week after that, we'll be, of course, we'll be back for the 1121 discussion, everybody. So I'll see you then. Peace.